Hello, lovely people. Gosh darn it. um, I'm on my iPad. My camera's down here, so ignore where I look at sometimes. So I'm trying to look at the camera, but honestly, I can't even see where it's at. So anyway, I have some really exciting news I would like to share with you. So one, everybody knows that I am on TikTok a lot. So I had a live today, and granted, the live took almost 50 minutes. And I went ahead and and clipped some highlights, so I think I have a total of like 10 minutes. So I went ahead and I put that together, and I want to share that with you. And I figure I can do that every Sunday. But the point of this is to share, just to share palmistry with you. And the reason I want to do that is because, as long as I have been reading palms, the biggest thing is it's very sensitive and it's very personal. And I'm digging into places that, I don't know, I feel like sometimes they're hard truths for people. And I explain in some of my clips that, I don't think, let's just say I have more readings where there are like somebody needs, they need hugs, they need understanding, they need compassion, because, they're in tears, and that's how personal palmistry is. And I think a lot of it is too, it's like I can see things that you wouldn't want me to know. I think you know what I mean. So I want to teach you to see that for yourself. I want you to be able to do that for yourself, because I know that a lot of people are on the journey to know themselves. And I think that it starts with being honest with yourself. And if you want to see your authentic self, your mind is going to put it in your hands. Okay, so every Sunday I do on TikTok, but I know that a lot of you aren't on TikTok, so I don't expect you to jump on there to join me. So I will put together the highlights of the clip, and I will put that here. I will share that here, because I want all of you who have been here with me from the very beginning, I want you to have that information too. And there's stuff that I have already, that I have recorded, but I think it's kind of nice to have it all in one video or one setting, and that way, if anyone wants to ask questions, they can do that. So, and it's a lot easier for me to use the green screen over there. And I have a lot more followers there. So I figure it makes more sense to do it there, and then I'll share it here. And if you're watching it here, I'm taking out all the, where I'm just, rambling, kind of like I'm doing right now. So anyway, yes, so be looking for that, because I am committed to doing a free class on palmistry every Sunday on TikTok. So this one was about the hand shape and the different types of hand types, and a little bit more than that, of course. And then the next one will be, I think we'll start with like the heart line and the headline. And I plan on going through everything that I know. So, be ready, get your notebooks out and take notes, and be prepared to learn a lot of stuff about yourself. So, without further ado, stay tuned, and I'll show you those clips from today's live. And thank you so much for being here with me. I love you all. I think, in your spirituality, to know yourself. So palmistry shows you in your non-dominant hand the potential that you brought into the world, and your dominant hand shows you what you've done with it. So like in palmistry or in astrology, you're given a guide, a point in time that you were born. It tells you where the planets were aligned. That's a guide to tell you where you need maybe some work or some life lessons that you're going to have that you are still wanting to learn before you leave this incarnation. And then by looking at the dominant hand, it tells you where you are on that journey. So let's get into it. And I did put on my green screen the typical four hand types that I'm looking for. And so what I need you to do is take a look at your palm. You know, you're like drawing a square and you're seeing if your hand fits into a square or if it's more of a rectangle. So that's what you want to look at first. Then you're going to measure your palm and you're going to go up to your fingers and see if it's the same. Now you can see my fingers are shorter than my palm. Psychoanalysis is very much linked to what I see in the hands, in your palms. And Carl Jung quoted that the hand is the map to the mind. So sometimes we are not awake enough in our own spiritual process to be completely honest with ourselves about who we are. So through palmistry and looking at the map of your mind, you will be able to see your authentic self. And I think it is important to lean into our authentic self and then, you know, go from there. It's like climb. And again, this is your Venus mount. It's next to your thumb. And when I see blue down there, it shows me that you're carrying fear towards family, people that you love. And when I say that, I mean fear of giving too much of yourself, say, or you're not trusting as much, because usually fear means lack of trust. You're afraid to give too much. You're afraid to love. You're afraid, and it is because of trauma or, again, maybe you felt taken advantage of. But blue indicates fear. If you see it in here, it's a fear of speaking out. You know, you have a fear of putting yourself out there. If you have it up in here, if you see blue in your hand up here, it means that you're afraid to put yourself out there in a business, whether it is perfectly being spoken or not. That's what that's kind of like what it means to be psychic. Here, you might actually be psychic in the sense that you are getting a lot of downloads from spirit. The pinky is the big one. I see a lot of pointed pinkies, and that tip will be more pointed than it is round. That means that you have an uncanny ability just to know what people are thinking. And you might even think you're crazy because you're like, why do I know what these people are thinking? And it's not like they're going to admit it, but trust yourself because you do know. You do know. Let's see. A rounded tip, like most of my fingertips are rounded, it just shows an easygoing person, you know. But again, getting back to like seeing like right in one setting, but this line that comes right here is your lifeline. And before anyone thinks, oh my gosh, she's got such a short lifeline, the lifeline does not tell you how long you're going to live. I'm going to be 55 in a couple weeks. So if that was the case, I would have outlived my lifeline. No. And I think that I think gypsies were known as fortune tellers, and they kind of got a little bit of a bad rap by associating that lifeline with your how long you're going to live. But the lifeline shows your vitality. I muddle you with like what the lines mean, the major lines mean, is I will look in your hands to find the differences from hand to hand. So if you look at mine, my lifeline is different in the length definitely the length. And that's the biggest thing that I would see if I was looking at my own hands. And the first thing I would think is, oh my goodness, you're going to have some major life lessons in your physical self. And I'm not going to give anything away, but that is so accurate in my life. That's where I've had the biggest challenges, and to put myself out there, and it's so, palmistry is very revealing, and that's another reason why I want to teach it to you, because I think that, like when people come and they sit down with me for a reading, there's tears, there's a lot of emotion, because palmistry shows you the deep, dark secrets that you don't want other people to see. And here's this strange lady telling you about yourself, and it's just, you never thought that there was a way for people to see those things. Well, there is, and you can see it in your own hands. So, I hope that you will stay with me, because through this journey, you're going to learn a lot about yourself. And, just the shape of your hand is the beginning. It's just the beginning. Questions about what type of a personality that is. If you look up the astrological signs that go along with earth, fire, air, and water, that will describe more of that baseline archetype that you are, the characteristics that go along with those. And that's very easy. I use Google for everything. And so that's why I said it would be beneficial to you to go ahead and have, there's many websites that will give you your birth chart. And if you don't know how to read it, it should at least give you your big three: your sun sign, your moon sign, and your ascendant. For myself, I use masteringthezodiac.com. That's true sidereal. That shows you exactly what was in the sky, down to maybe a couple degrees, but nothing like Western astrology. So like Western astrology, I'm a Libra. In true sidereal, I'm a Virgo. And it is because they recognize that 13th sign and the actual size of the constellations, because they're different. They're not exactly 33 degrees. Like Virgo is a big constellation, and the sun sits in that for at least 47 to 49 days. So, I mean, we're in Virgo. And even when we think we're going to be in Libra season, or, when we think the sun will be in Libra, it won't be. It'll still be in Virgo. So that's just something you might want to check out for yourself. And knowing what your big three are will kind of really help you in understanding your palm. So I know I've said it so many times. Anyway, I'm going to get off here. And again, thank you so much. And I hope to see you in a week. And I hope everybody knows what kind of hand they have and are familiar with what the colors mean. And yeah, we'll talk about the lines. We'll really get into the heart line and the head line and all that. So join me, and I'll see you in a week. Now I gotta figure out how to get off here.